Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and the elders, the elder bishops of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered throughout the four corners of the earth, to the men on the highways and the byways that are pushing out this word in truth and sincerity, and to the remnant men, women, and children of the elect, to you all I say shalom. My name is Ahmawan, Ahyash, and I'm back with another lesson through the power and the spirit of Yahweh Yahawashi. Lord willing, this lesson is edifying. I want to, jump into this video from, you see the name on the screen. And, he does his commentary on, relationships, what you would call gender wars at this time, because there's a lot of back and forth. A lot of, videos and, they call it the red pill community and, a lot of stuff, just a lot of back and forth between men and women and who's doing what and who's doing right, who's doing wrong, and what's the cause of the issue when it comes to affairs and relationships and this, that, and the third. So, all this commentary on this, but, you pull from it what you can, and as we say in this truth, chew the meat, spit out the bones. No matter who it comes from, edification can always be brought out regardless of whose platform, who's saying it, who's teaching it. All of this is for the sake of edifying. All right. Now, I'm going to play this video, probably about a minute and a half, maybe 2 minutes of it. Just to get what this so-called black woman is saying, because the so-called black woman is just completely, she's compromised. When I say compromised, I mean she's been deceived by Esau Edom. Okay, and this goes all the way back to the garden. Okay, and that serpent who basically deceived her and lied to her and gave her the ability to speak for herself, okay, and go out on her own. All right, this is Esau Edom is that serpent. He gave her the freedom and the platform to speak up, so-called speak up for herself and speak against her men, and speak up against order, and speak up against the Lord, because she's rebellion. She's not in order. Okay. So when you're not in order and you don't speak in order, you speak against the Lord. Okay. Because these women are just completely out of place. They're out of pocket. They're out of line. They're disrespectful. They're rude. They got that rebellious, evil, wicked spirit on them. Okay, and this video is not going to show anything different. So I'm going to play this and give some commentary. Got just a couple scriptures lined up. Whatever comes through in the spirit, I'll bring up. But let me play this.
So to the front of the congregation if she's right. Black men and black women are not compatible. There, I said not it. That video of them saying that the white women were texting in a group chat saying that black men are very obsessed with them and that they are basically want them so bad, and that whatever they say, like whatever they tell them to do, they're going to do. It's the truth. And I said it, and people kept saying I'm being dramatic, but black men view black women as less than. Especially when you're a light skin complexion, girl, it is a wrap. As someone who dates non-black men primarily, let me tell you something. They don't respect you, and that what you ask of them, they will give to a non-black woman with no problem. It's plenty of times where I have seen black men play around with black women, get the first non-black woman, marry her right away, do everything she asks, treat her exceptional. But when a black woman asks for it, it's like, how dare you? It's like when black women go on dating shows and request something.
I'm going to really quick stop it right there. She basically just said black men won't treat black women with respect and treat them well, basically just for the sake that they're black. right? But they'll go out and they'll do it to women of other races, which is just, this is what we mean when we say black women are just completely irrational, right? It's not that. Okay, and Anton Daniels is going to make a point, which is going to confirm what I just said, just in terms of them being irrational. And just at this point, you really just can't take, and this is the problem with so-called black women, man. All right? Because you're not desirable, at the end of the day, the reason for it is because you've made yourself not desirable. All right? You've made yourself not desirable through this fake false sense of independence, okay, and freedom, and your lack of understanding of your place and your position in this world. All right, and your position amongst your man. You've gotten completely out of hand with your mouth, with your energy, with that masculine energy, and this is where we are. You're completely undesirable at this point, but let's keep going.
Shame for wanting it. A white woman comes, she gets it, no problem. It's for a reason. I even support black women going overseas. It's right now, it's alive, where a black man who is in a relationship, having a live, talking about how black women is rent-free. Rent-free. If you're happy in a relationship, why do you care? Because the point is to upset, trigger, and demean black women.
That's not true. The goal is to get you guys married. The goal is to bring families together. The goal is to hold people accountable and have a realistic expectation. How can a person tell you how you're supposed to move when it comes to being successful in a relationship if they're not successful in a relationship? The problem is that a lot of people are taking all of the advice from women that are hurt, broken, and bitter, and so they're looking for a community group to bring themselves together, and they're not getting the results that they want.
The great black women, when you understand that a lot of them are your enemies, and they don't want you to succeed.
Enemies.
They don't think you're beautiful. They don't think you're this and the third. They don't see that shit.
So broken.
Right. These women are broken. They're broken because they've done a lot of the disservice to themselves, right? You're undesirable. We don't think you're not beautiful. We think, hey, when a so-called black woman is in her feminine energy, and she doesn't have gold, blue, black, blonde, yellow, red hair and big ass eyelashes, and doesn't want to get BBLs and bleach their skin, right? You've done this to yourself. We love when so-called black women are in their feminine energy, and we love when you love yourself, because that's where it starts. And that's what I wanted to say in this lesson. You so-called black women have not even loved yourselves because you desired to be someone else. You've desired to look. You think the standard of beauty starts with long, straight hair, blonde hair, bleaching your skin, extra large eyebrows when you don't need it, right? BBLs when you don't need it. Okay? Lip injections when you don't need it. Because you haven't loved yourself, you've pushed that insecurity and that nastiness onto your man, onto the so-called, you know what I mean? Onto the so-called black man, and you've reversed it, trying to make it seem like we're the problem. No. We're not the problem. You're the problem. Okay? And your desire is to take that funky box and allow multiple men to be inserted in it. Okay? And take all your traumas and your childhood issues as a little girl, your daddy issues, and all these things that you got going on, you projected onto your relationships. And you try to flip it to seem like the man is the problem. No. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some ain't shit, piece of shit, ain't You know what I mean? There's some crazy niggas out here, man. Don't get me wrong. All right. But if you have even a decent head on your shoulders and you can think straight and you can spot somebody who shouldn't be worth your time, because there's men out here that ain't worth your time, who's just some drug dealing, drug using, no job, no standard having, no substance, weed smoking, gun toting. It's just some bugged out niggas out here. And you should be able to discern who those men are. Outside of that, you should be able to, the average decent Jake out here got a job, got all his teeth, okay? Has a decent head on his shoulders. Y'all ain't doing no good towards these men. Y'all don't want a regular man, right? You want a man with all the trimmings. You want him to have money. He got to be 6 foot. He got to be a certain complexion. He got to be in a certain job. He got to live a certain way. He got to have a certain car. And that's just to get to first base. You know what I mean? That's just to get to first base. God damn, Eve. So I'm gonna finish playing this, and then I'm gonna go to, because I got a couple verses that I want to pull up, but Elder Apostle Tahar did a video that I want to play really quick that backs up my whole point here, okay? But this is insight on how these so-called black women think. All right, you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. These women are completely out of control, man. And she got the nerve. She thinks this shit makes sense. She thinks this is right. She thinks what she's saying is on point. Like you know what I'm saying? She thinks she dropping bombs right now. She has no idea that she sounds absolutely so stupid in the ears of men. And she thinks, because what's happening, there's another, so you got this kind of woman, but then you got another group of women who are actually realizing that this type of energy and what's happening now ain't the way to go. There's some women turning back, realizing like, damn, I really did fuck up the majority of my relationships, and I need to figure out how to get back into my feminine energy, how to be obedient, how to serve my man, how to be his help me, how to be under him, not trying to be equal of or above him. Okay? You have that. That's happening. But that's a spiritual thing, because we coming across a time where Isaiah 4:1 is about to be, it's about to take place. We're going to get in that to a second. Let me just play this.
Go overseas, all types of men who will love you and treat you how you need to be treated. Then how come they still not married? Again. I honestly, really, I feel so sad, and it breaks my heart to see women think like this, move like this, act like this, not get the results that they want, and speak so negatively about themselves. Because you're not even saying nothing about us. You projecting that on yourself. And it's heartbreaking to see y'all think like this and move like this. And I want the best for y'all, but you got to want the best for yourself. You can't get results speaking this negatively.
Yeah, so he made the point of, him speaking. Basically what he's saying is that you really just project that energy. You speaking about, you're highlighting. What you're doing is highlighting why you're not desirable. Okay? And she doesn't even really realize it. That's the crazy part. She don't even really realize it. Okay? Why? Because the Lord has deprived this woman of wisdom. Job 39:17, it says, because the Most High has deprived her of wisdom, neither have he departed to her understanding. She doesn't understand what she's saying. She doesn't understand why she sounds absolutely ridiculous. She thinks this is dope. She thinks she got some shit, but she sounds crazy, right? Because at the end of the day, you need to be desired by a man. You need to, what you're bringing to the table. You can't just bring yourself to the table and just think that we're supposed to desire you. You have to bring to the table what men want. Not what you think men want, or not what you think you should be. You have to be desirable according to his desire. What is going on out here? All right. You have to figure out, what is it that my man wants? What is it that makes him happy? And let me be the best version of that. That's when men will accept you. That's when you'll be desirable. That's when he'll love you and think you're beautiful and think you're pretty and think you are his partner, and feel like he can trust you and feel like, you're the one that should be by his side versus somebody else. Okay, but women haven't figured it out because they're in their own head. They think that they got the answers. They think that they know what men want without consulting their own man. Ain't that some shit? All right. And this comes on the heel of the elder apostle Tahar in his video. Okay. He did a video in Shalom to the elder apostle Tahar. He did a video a couple days ago called "These Hyenas Are Basically Stupid," right? And that couldn't be more true. These women are just stupid, man, at this point. And it makes you not even want to court or pursue a woman, man. That's where we are. We're to the point where we don't even want to, man. Look, hey, you know what? I'd just rather not. I'd rather you stay over there. Because all I'm really going to be doing is wasting my time or giving myself a headache that I don't need or don't want. All right, let me play. What was it? The 130 mark is where I wanted to start. Let me go there. Okay, and let me play this out. It's 1 minute.
Made a high value, and this happened. And the way these women get these bags is they'll bust their ass at a bullshit ass job, save money, or get a sucker to pay for it. Another reason to stay away from these women, get you a snow bunny. Get you a snow bunny, but don't marry her. Unless she's a Jake. But still don't marry her, even if she's a Jake. Don't get married. When you get married, that's a business contract between making the state the third party. That's why when there's a divorce, it's the company breaking up. So if it's a partnership, they each get half. One guy can say, well, I did all the work. Well, that's too bad. You came together as an equal partnership. A marriage license is basically a business license. That's all it is. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom. On to the next.
And Elder Apostle made a great point about marrying these women and about how stupid they are, right? When you get married, it's actually a business transaction at this point. The idea of marriage here in America, Babylon the Great, it's not about your union between you and your wife, right? It's a transactional thing at this point. Okay? It's about, for women, it's about a title, right? False sense of unity and togetherness. You know, they want to be viewed a certain way. They've always come up thinking that that's just the way life has to be for them, or you have to get married by the state under law, right? Hey, these women, you get married, they barely want to take your last name. They barely want to take your last name, right? They barely want to take your last name, and then when you have children, they barely want your child's last name to be the father's. That's some shit. All right, and going into getting married with a woman, especially a so-called black woman here in Babylon the Great, it's a business transaction. But guess what? That's a bad business transaction. That's bad business, man. You get married to Eve here, you're that was just a bad business move. You've invested your money into a bad stock. You invested. Hey man, this place is a cesspool of wickedness, and Eve has got a lot to do with it. Okay? Eve has got a lot to do with it. Let me get a preset. All right? Let me get a preset. Proverbs 31. All right, Proverbs 31. It says, where I wanted to start at, Proverbs 31 and 5. No. Slack it. Oh, Proverbs 31 and 3. Proverbs 31 and 3 says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Okay. Give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroying kings. Right. In NLT, it says, do not waste your strength on women, on those who ruin kings. Okay. Because when you give yourself over to, and that's what a woman wants to do, wants you to do. She wants you to sacrifice and give everything over to her, right? Sacrifice your time, your money, your energy, and stretch you completely thin for her sake, okay? All right, these women, they don't want you to, preserve yourself for anything but them, okay? So it says, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings. Okay, because you'll ruin yourself with these women, man. All right, you will ruin yourself messing with these women, man. Actually, let me get this. It's in the Apocrypha, First Esdras 4 and 26. It says, yeah, for First Esdras 4 and 26, it says, yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits for women and become servants for their sakes. And that's what these women want. These women want you to run out of your wits and become servants for their sakes. So that's what that chick in the video is basically saying. Right? That's the energy that she has. Right? It's not that we don't love so-called black women, right? But we love them a certain kind of way when you're in a certain kind of energy. And you're not going to get that here in Babylon. So at the end of the day, we just got to wait for the kingdom, right? To be honest, all of these women are good for now is one thing. And we all know what that is, right? You're not going to get you a so-called virtuous woman. You're not going, man, just forget it. All right? Just pray that your woman is in order as much as possible. and just wait for the kingdom, where you'll have an abundance of them. And you ain't got to worry about them stepping out or being out of order or being disrespectful or being rude. None of that. Okay? Because you don't want to be one of these guys that run out of your wits and become a servant for them. You don't want to be that. All right? Let me jump down. Proverbs 31 and verse 10. See the description. It's a description of a worthy woman. It says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. Okay? Because at the end of the day, when it comes to a virtuous woman is going to be geared towards serving her husband. Right? when she can make your life easier, not harder, not miserable. All right. You coming home from work or wherever it is you're at for the day, you coming home to a nagging woman. That's miserable. Right. This is why you're not desirable. All right. This is why men go outside of their race. Jake, so-called Black Latinos, Native Americans go outside of our race and find other women. All right. To be near. And like Elder Apostle Tahar said, you don't marry him. You do what you got to do. And like the dude Anton Daniels said, man, this is why y'all are not get. You could go because the chick in the video basically said, man, she suggests or recommends that women go overseas and find men who will take care of them and love them, but they're not gonna marry you. They're not marrying you. You might as well stay here. Ain't the point to get married? Ain't this what y'all want? They're not gonna marry you. They're just gonna spend money on you and treat you the same, and just dog you out and just use you for what you're used. You know what I mean? What you're good for. All right, and that's that one thing. It says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." All right, the heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. All right. And that's all a man really wants. Somebody who he could feel he could trust. All right. Someone who we feel that we can trust. Okay. And that's very, very rare to find. Because of everything that they got going on. They got their own jobs, their own education, they got so-called careers, They got Esau Edom as a crutch. And these federal and state benefits, these, she feel like she don't need you. But guess what's coming? Guess what's coming? It's the book of Isaiah 4:1. It says, "And in that day shall 7 women take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach." Okay, so 7 women shall take hold of one man, and they're going to need a man to be a hiding place from them, from the judgment that's coming. Jacob's trouble, oh my goodness, man. The so-called black woman is going to have such a hard time in the perilous times that are approaching. You're going to need a man of the Lord to be up under. And this is why 7 women shall take hold of one man. Right? Because they're going to need a safe place, which can only be up under a man of the Lord. Because the Lord ain't dealing with you directly. You're going to have to find a man of the Lord to keep you safe. And the Lord is going to allow a lot of you proud, wicked, evil, disgusting women to be judged viciously in these last days. And we're here for it. Us men of the Lord are here for it. All right. So I'm going to leave it there. I mean, the point was made. Like the Elder Apostle Tahar said in his video, these hyenas are basically stupid. They have no wisdom. They've been fooled and tricked and played by Esau Edom, and judgment has come upon them. All right. So with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem, Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles, the elders, the elder bishops, the great Millstone, who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect. Shalom.